How's it going, everybody? My name is Jesse, or as I'm better known on my Tumblr page as Try Soul Rest, and I am back for another comic book video in Avengers Month. Now, when you're a team as powerful as the Avengers, you end up becoming matched up against some very powerful enemies, and I'm going to review 5 of the top most menacing Avenger villains. Now, I'm not putting these in any particular order because any one of these can be number 1 to number 5. So, we're going to go ahead and do this with the one who is responsible for the creation of the Avengers. Let's kick it off. Loki technically appeared for the first time comic number 6 back in 1949. That is when Loki, the trickster of evil, or the king of evil, was first made mention. Now, the Loki that we know today first appeared in Journey into Mysteries number 85, fighting against his brother. He appeared in Avengers number 1. That was his first appearance. And he is responsible for the creation of the Avengers. He was using some magical manipulation to make it look like Hulk was on a rampage. Rick Jones summoned Iron Man, Hulk, and Ant-Man, who brought along the Wasp with him to help him deal with the Hulk. Once they found that Hulk was not responsible, they all banded together and they took Loki down. And thus, the Avengers were born. Now, he may not have been the original creator of the Masters of Evil, but he's done more with them than his father ever did. And he's also been a major villain, giving Captain America a massive amount of trouble and dealing with the Avengers on many of occasions. Now, the Zemo family has been around for generations, ever since the days of knights and castles. The one to give the Avengers the most trouble after Heinrich is Helmut Zemo. He uses the Masters of Evil, Hydra, formerly the leader of the Thunderbolts, and has partnered with Red Skull on many of occasions. He also acquired the Moonstones from Moonstone and became even more of a devastating force in the Avengers universe until he ended up losing those as well. But when it comes to playing a long con game, there's not much better than Helmut Zemo. Now, when you're a superhero long enough, you will eventually end up creating one of your greatest villains. It's happened to Spider-Man, it's happened to Iron Man, Captain America, Fantastic Four, many different individuals and teams. They somehow, in some way, end up creating one of their greatest villains. It has also happened with the Avengers. Now, if you haven't guessed by now, I am speaking about Ultron. The creation of Ultron was by Henry Pym, working on artificial intelligence, and this is what he originally looked like. There have been more than 15 incarnations of Ultron. There was one that even tried to be good, but the next evolution of Ultron destroyed that version. Ultron is also responsible for creating one of the greatest Avengers, another one who has proven herself from time to time. I'm talking about Vision and Jocasta. There was even a version of Ultron that took the extremist virus that was in Iron Man and turned him into an Ultron, a female version of Ultron that looked like the Wasp, until they had to beat him with a computer virus, all the way up to Age of Ultron. Now, not talking about the Avengers 2 movie. It first appeared in the comic books where, spoiler alert, Ultron from the future was controlling the Vision in the past to destroy the heroes to make way for the future that Ultron wanted. Now, a lot of heroes go through a kind of identity crisis. Some may forget exactly who they are, like happened with Henry Pym when he became Yellow Jacket. Some have to completely change their identity because they're wanted for some reason, like when Spider-Man became Prodigy, Hornet, Dusk, and Ricochet. But most of these people don't end up fighting themselves or go through time to do it. And that's what brings us to the next person on this list. Cain the Conqueror, Immortalist, Scarlet Centurion, Pharaoh Ron-Mon-Tut. Whatever you prefer to call him, he has his hands in a lot of different parts of history. Cain the Conqueror first appeared in Avengers number 8, where he challenged the Avengers. He would later appear in Avengers number 10 as Immortalist. He would first be Scarlet Centurion in Avengers Annual number 2 and Ron-Mon-Tut in Fantastic Four number 19. In a way of rebranding Immortalist, trying to let his younger form come forward as Nathaniel Richards, he became Iron Lad in Young Avengers number 1 and Kid Immortalist in FF Volume 2 number 8. And FF was actually the title of it. The best way to go through Cain, Immortalist, Scarlet Centurion, and Ron-Mon-Tut's history is to read Avengers Forever. It is a 12-part story that circulates around Rick Jones, and it fills in a lot of the gaps where people thought, hey, this can't happen, Cain died, or how is Cain and Immortalist and Ron-Mon-Tut all in the same room when they're the same person? Avengers Forever shows how they went through time and how they either conflicted or fought or worked together, all in the events of trying to stop the Timekeepers. It's a really good read and will really fill you in a little bit more. But that's Cain the Conqueror. Now, as I was saying, there really is no number one villain, but this could be considered the most devastating villain in the Avengers universe. He's even going to be the main focal point of the Infinity Wars movie that's going to be coming out in a couple of years. And of course, I'm talking about the one and only Thanos. He is the son of an Eternal, but he had the lament deviant gene inside of him, and that is what he was born with, and that's why he looks the way he is. Thanos first appeared for the first time in Iron Man number 55. He made his appearance in the Avengers for the first time in Avengers number 125. Now, he is obsessed with death. And he first got Death's attention when he tried to commit mass genocide on the people of Titan. Now, he didn't kill all of them, but he did kill enough to get Death's attention. And throughout the years, most of the stuff that he has done was just to get to have Death's female aspect give him notice. When he took the cosmic cume and tried to be an eternal being, when he gathered the 6 Infinity Gems to create the Infinity Gauntlet, he is actually banned from Death's realm, so he's pretty much immortal right now. When it comes to Thanos, there is no stopping him. He is probably one of the strongest creatures in the entire Marvel pantheon. He's even stood up to Odin and took the full force of the Odin power wielded against him and still was able to stand up and face it, which truly makes him a devastating foe. Well, I hope you enjoyed the 5 most devastating villains of the Avengers. Now, I know there are probably some more powerful villains out there, but these were the Avengers villains. They are the 5 most devastating, and any one of them could be number 1 to number 5, no particular order listed here. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, go ahead and give that like button a click. If you like what I'm doing here every week and you'd like to see more videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also come back to watch my comic book reviews on Wednesday and follow me on Tumblr where I post every Sunday, and I will put that information in the credits. So until next time, I'll see you.